Shalom, shalom, Israel. This is your brother, Samuel Laray Shamuel Aliyah. Many may know me as King General. You are tuned in to our first study back with Precept upon Precept. And the title of today's study is The Meaning of Red, the Truth about Edom. The reason I'm bringing this teaching to the surface and this study to the surface because there have been many teachings about who our brother is, about who Edom is, and about what it means that he came out red. So we want to take a look in the scriptures, and this is not going to be like an in-depth study. We might be a part two to who Edom is, but we want to make sure that we're in line with the scriptures. We want to make sure that when we receive understanding of the scriptures, that it's accurate understanding. It's not just, if he said he's going to burn up every green tree, we see, that these green trees are righteous and wicked people. So when we see, and that's in Ezekiel, when we see that in Ezekiel chapter 20 and chapter 21, and then we go to the book of Revelation, and a whole bunch of green trees are being burnt up, and a whole bunch of trees are being burnt up, then we understand what that vision is saying by the precepts. We understand what those green trees are by the precepts. I said all that to say that we understand what red means, and I want you to listen very clearly. We understand what red means by the scriptures. So we're going in it today, and we're going to go over it today. What does red mean? What does it mean that Edom came out red, and where can we identify him today? So in our day and time, as we can identify ourselves with Israel, due to the things that are coming to pass, how can we identify our brother Edom, Esau, in this last hour? So I'm hoping that this get through to y'all. So this is and y'all get a revelation of the truth, and all praises be to Yah for his word going forth. Y'all tuned in to another edition of Precept upon Precept.
I want the truth and no more lies. I want humility and no more pride. I want love, y'all, no more hate. I want you, y'all, it's war outside. I want the truth and no more lies.
So the first place we're going to start off, Israel, is in the book of Genesis. We're going to start off in the book of Genesis, in the book of Bereshith, and we're going to begin in chapter 1. I want to talk about, and I want to start off and lay the foundation with the image and the likeness of the Most High that man was made in. When we look into the book of Genesis, we see the man, as many would call Adam, but Edom, being the first man ever made. And we're going to find out more about Edom, as many would call Adam, and we're going to find out more about the image and the likeness that Adam or Edom was made in, to gain a better understanding of the meaning of red. And what does it mean to be red? Now, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 26 and 27, it reads, and Eloah, instead of Elohim, I say Eloah. Elohim is plural for many mighty ones, but we know that as the law tells us and commands us, that Israel, O Israel, Yahuwah, our Eloah is one. Not many, but one. So I use the term Eloah instead of Elohim. So the only difference is one is singular, the other is plural. So verse 26 again says, and Eloah said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping creatures that creep on the earth. Verse 27. And Eloah created the man in his image. In the image of Eloah created he him. Male and female he created them. So we see here where the man Edom and the female, of course, we know later to be Hawa, Hebrew or Eve, is made in the image and in the likeness of the Most High. So, and here's the ironic thing. The man was called the man in chapter 1 and chapter 1 and chapter 2. He wasn't acknowledged as Edom, as his name to be Edom, until chapter 3. But here's the funny thing. His name was Edom because he was called man. When we read verse 26 talks about when it says, let us make man in our image. This Hebrew word, man, in the Strong's Concordance is H120, which is in the Hebrew is Edom, the name of Adam, the name of Edom. Now, the meaning of this name lets us know a lot about not just Edom, but a lot about the meaning of red. This is the first study that we're going to go into. The name of Adam, is derived from Strong's H119, which is the same word, Edom. Strong's 119 means to show blood in the face. This is what Edom means. To show blood in the face, that is, flush or turn rosy, to be dyed, made red, ruddy. To be red, to be ruddy is the first definition. Letter A, ruddy, of Nazarites. So Nazarites were red. Edom was red. B, to be rubbed red or to dyed red, or red. C definition. 1 would be to cause to show red. To glare is 2. 3, to emit, to show redness. Letter D, 1 is to redden. Letter D, 2, to grow red. To look red. So we see here where Edom comes from the Hebrew word which means red. Which means red. Now we're going to go back to H120 in the Strong's Concordance and read what the definition is of this name that's used. Of Edom or Adam. It means ruddy. That is a human being, an individual or species, mankind. Definition 1, man, mankind, man, human being, man, mankind. 1b, much more frequently intended since the Old Testament. 1c, Edom, the first man. D, the city of Jordan. So we see Edom has two meanings. Strong's H119, to be ruddy, to be red, to be made red, to show blood. Definition 2, Edom, H120, to be ruddy, man, mankind, the first man. So we look into this definition, and this is where we get the meaning of red. This is literally, I promise you, we're going to bring it back around full circle. This is where we get the meaning of red. Now, before we get into Esau, I want to talk about someone else where we can find in the scriptures where one was considered to be red or ruddy. I want to go to 1 Samuel, 1 Samuel 16. This is where the prophet Samuel goes to anoint a new king of Israel after King Saul, and he goes to brother Yeshai or Jesse to choose one of Jesse's sons or one of Yeshai's sons to be king and rule over Israel. And at this point, he had brought all of his sons to the prophet Samuel, but none of his sons were chosen to be anointed. So we're gonna start off at verse 11, and we're gonna talk about King David. Verse 11 says, "And Shemuel said to Yitshai, which is Jesse, Are these all the young men? And he said, There remains yet the youngest, and see, he is tending the sheep. And Shemuel said to Yitshai, Send and bring him, for we do not turn around till he comes here." Verse 12, "And he sent and brought him in, and he was ruddy, with bright eyes, and good looking. And Yahuwah said, Arise, anoint him, for this is the one." Now, the thing about this, we see here where King David is spoken of as to be ruddy. As to be ruddy. That's powerful. He's spoken of as to be ruddy. This word ruddy in the Strong's Concordance is admoni. Admoni in the Strong's Concordance is Strong's H132. Admoni means reddish, of the hair or of the complexion. Red or ruddy is derived from H119 in the Hebrew Concordance, from Edom, as we read earlier. The first definition is red, ruddy, of Esau as infant. Do you see that? Of Esau as infant. Now this word is used to describe David, to describe Dawid. Was he white? Was he a white man? Was David a white man? No, he was red. He was reddish brown, like the earth, like a red heifer, or a red ram or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he was red, reddish brown. It wasn't that he was white, like the white man, like to show blood. No, he was light, reddish brown, like to show blood, to be red, to be reddish. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many with the Esau is the white man doctrine. Nah. Edom, our brother, our twin brother, is literally red, like Edom or Adam was red. He's red like David or Dawid was red. He's red like many light-skinned brothers and sisters that we have in our communities that we call red. I got a brother. We call him red because he light-skinned. He lighter than most of us, all us. So we call him red. So again, this word that's used for ruddy to describe David is admoni. It's in the Strong's Concordance 132. It's admoni, meaning reddish, of the hair or of the complexion, So don't let nobody fool y'all with this Esau doctrine, man. That he's a white man. So we're gonna get into some scriptures, and we're gonna get into our next scripture, which is our final scripture that we're gonna get into to wrap this up. So the next scripture and the final scripture we're going to go into is Genesis chapter 25. And this is the reason why we started this study. Genesis chapter 25, we're going to start off at verse 21. To get an understanding, we understand what it means to be red. We understand from the word admoni that we just went over, the word red that was used in concerning David, to describe David, given in a description of David, we see is admoni, Strong's 132. Strong's 132. So we're going to read Genesis 25 concerning Jacob and concerning Esau, concerning Israel and concerning Edom, and we're gonna read this in its proper context. We're gonna read it in its proper context. We're not gonna add to Yah's word or take away from it. So Genesis chapter 25, verse 21 says, and Yitzhak, which is Isaac, prayed to Yahuwah for his wife because she was barren. And Yahuwah answered his prayer, and Ribqah, or Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Verse 22, and within her the children struggled together, and she said, if all is right, why am I this way? So she went to ask Yahuwah. So the children began to struggle within her. She goes to ask Yah, what's going on, if I'm okay, and I'm good in my pregnancy. Why is all this going on in my womb? Verse 23 says, and Yahweh said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 people shall be separated from your body. And one shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. And when the days were fulfilled for her to give birth, and see, twins were in her womb. Twins. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment. So they called his name Esau. Now, this word red, I want to stop here for a minute. We're gonna pick up again, but I want to stop here. This word here, red, that is used here is again Strong's Concordance number 132. Strong's Concordance number 132. Admoni, derived from Strong's 119, which is Edom, meaning reddish, of the hair or of the complexion, red, ruddy, of Esau's infant. And we see that here. Why does it say of Esau? Of Esau's infant? Because this same word is used to describe Esau as red. So the scripture says that they called his name Esau because he was hairy. Not because he was red, but because he was hairy. Because Esau means hairy in the scriptures. So he was hairy, they called him red. Now let's pick up and read again. And we're going to pick back up at verse 26. And afterwards his brother came out with his hand holding on to Esau's heel. So his name was called Yaakov. And Yitzhak was 60 years old when she bore them. And the boys grew up, and Esau became a man knowing how to hunt, a man of the field, while Yaakov was a complete man, dwelling in tents. And Yitzhak loved Esau because he ate of his wild game, but Ribqah loved Yaakov. And Yaakov cooked the stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esau said to Yaakov, please feed me with the same red stew. With the same red stew. Now pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. With the same red stew, for I am weary. Listen, this is why his name was called Edom. Now this word that's used, red, is taken from the Strong's Concordance as well. We're taking it from the Strong's Concordance, which is H number 122. Also derived from H119, Edom. This is Adomi, which means red, ruddy, of man, horse, heifer, garment, water, lentils. So we have to get an understanding that when the scripture says that Edom came out red, it's actually saying that he came out reddish brown, which also means Edom, to show blood, which also means Edom, to be red and ruddy, which also means Admoni, which means to be ruddy, to be red. This is the understanding of what red means. So the next time you hear Esau is the white man doctrine, nowhere in these scriptures, nowhere do you see that Esau was white. And the very word that's used for red was also used for Edom and also used for Esau. Now, this word, I want y'all to pay attention that this word Edom is also taken from the Hebrew Strong's Concordance, which is, well, not taken from it, but we understand. We can also go to the Hebrew Strong's Concordance, H number 123, which is Edom. It's the same, pretty much the same word. It comes from the same root word, Adam. Adam and Edom are the same root words, which means basically the same thing. Edom means red. Edom, Edomite, Idumean, descendants of Esau, land of Edom, Idumea, land of the south and southeast of Palestine. But understand, it means red. Why? Because the same word Adam, is also the same word Edom, meaning Edom. It's the same red. No difference. So I pray that this teaching gets through to someone, that someone understands that Esau, our brother, twin brother, is of the same color as us. Reddish brown from the earth. Same color as Edom, same color as Dawid. And that is the meaning of the color red. Brothers and sisters, y'all have been tuned in to another episode, another teaching of Precept upon Precept. Till next time, you know what it is. Yange. Or Shalom.
I want the truth and no more lies. I want humility and no more pride. I want love, y'all, no more hate. I want you, y'all, it's wild side. I want the truth and no more lies.
Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, listen to some more teachings of Precept upon Precept, along with the King General Radio Talk Show, and check out some of my music while you're at it too. Shalom.